you can be surprised, but they're working with a spreadsheet sometimes, very legacy, let's say, very
Yeah.
cranky, not working. They are hard to use. They are expensive. You need a lot of, the workflows are very long, and you need a lot of clicks to do things that with MiniHotel you do with a few clicks. I'm Yuval. MiniHotel is a SaaS, software as a service. We work mainly with small hotels, small to medium hotels. Our goal is to help hoteliers manage their businesses, basically from A to Z, making the reception work, check-ins, checkouts, invoices, connectivity with websites like Booking.com, Expedia, Airbnb, and such. We work in around 70 countries, 70. We have around 1,400 clients to date. We founded the business, it was me and my dad back in 2007. In the last few years, I'm the CEO of the company. We are getting quite bigger in the last few years, especially since the COVID. It's a whole story about the COVID over there, but really it gave us a real boost, and we're growing since then, like between, like, let's say 35 to 40% ish year over year since the COVID. And it really, like, we changed the company, from tip to toe. And that's it, like, in a nutshell. Yeah.
Amazing. Fantastic. So you optimize operations in the hotels. You're growing like mad for 30-40% of a few years. And usually COVID is a success story for you. It changed how hotels look at those things and you capitalizing on that. Fantastic. So let's talk about the very beginning, 2007, you were trying to find a product market fit, or you knew that there was a problem. How did it all start? You and your dad. How did you start this
Uh,
company?
it's quite a long story, but I will try to cap it a little bit.
Okay.
So me and my dad were both like employees for hire. We were working in the same company back then. We were working in a company which was also software vertical, let's say, for like ERP and hotel software, etc. And we worked basically mostly with the big hotels like 4 and 5 stars in our country, Israel. And it was a completely different business than what we have today. My dad asked back then the CEO of that company, maybe we should serve the small hotels as well. But he was not interested. And my dad felt like it's an underserved market in Israel. Back then, we thought about our country. We didn't think globally back then. And like after like 2 decades or more in that company, my dad retired from that company basically, and he started like to hustle. He's a coder, he's a developer, very good one. And he started like coding like a small, let's say, software for, it was B&Bs at first. And I was still working at that company back then. And then at some point he said like, I think I have like, an MVC, like a minimal viable product, MVP, sorry. And maybe you can join me part-time. So I decided to work part-time at that other company, and part-time with my dad. Back then it was just two of us. And it was in Israel, it was blue ocean. I think in the whole world, but we knew just about our country back then. We didn't have like 70 countries working with that back then. When we started, it was the blue ocean in Israel. When we started, like, we gave it free to like one B&B or a lodge. It was more like a lodge, country lodge. And then some other lodges and B&Bs heard about it. But then something really weird happened when small hotels and boutiques and, like, let's say under 50 rooms, this segment specifically, they called us a lot. Even hotels, not just B&Bs like we thought would. And they said like, we are underserved. We have like a complex software that is working in the Hiltons and Accor of the world. And it's not, it's pricey, it's expensive, and it's really hard to use. And our approach was, from bottom to up, and not from up to below to bottom, from top to bottom. Because when Opera Cloud, for example, and those like software companies serving the 5 stars, they go from top to bottom, from the manager and bottom to the receptionist. And we started from bottom to top. We thought about the receptionist first. When we started, we didn't have reports, for example. We just had the calendar, just to make the check-ins, check-outs, just so it's gonna be very simple for the receptionist to work. We thought about the receptionist. And these places, are moms and pops, the ones that approached us first. So they really like this approach of it's very easy to use, and maybe you can add like one report that I need. I don't know. I don't need all those reports that we have in like Opera Cloud, or I can say a lot of other names in those Israeli SaaSes also that were in the market. And it grew little by little, just a few reports that they need, a few accounting actions that they need, a few of this, a few of that, and based a very easy to use calendar, also easy to learn calendar. So it started from there, and then it spread a lot, and we sold like if in a few years we just like maybe 2 or 3 years we had already like maybe 200 clients or so, and it was like with no spending at marketing at all, like no paid ads, and everything was organic. We did have like one seller because we couldn't handle all the calls, but it spread really well in Israel. So this is like, for us, it was easier than expected. It was really, and in Israel, you have like maybe 800 hotels back then, and maybe we have like less than 1,000 today. Israel is like very small. So we became like second like biggest in the market in Israel in a few years, I think. It was very nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
What a fantastic story. Absolutely love the fact that you went to what we would call champions. Instead of going to the management and say force this software on these guys, you go to the people that actually are using this software. You made it stripped off all the other noise and unnecessary parts and said, look, that's going to help you. And then they put the pressure to the upper management saying, hey, this looks
if
awesome.
they had one, because
Yeah.
sometimes it's like moms and pops, and it's like one man running the show, and he's the owner,
Yeah.
and he's the receptionist, and he's doing marketing and everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes they have 2 or 3 employees, but it's different when you have like 20 rooms or 10 rooms than when you have 200 rooms.
Yeah. And going, like I take it the big hotels will have like a big, massive, expensive ERPs, but they don't make any sense for someone with 10 rooms, right? Or, few Airbnbs to rent to have an ERP designed for Hilton, right? Obviously, it's just not going to work for them. They will have 99% of this software it's unusable for them. Yes, they're still going to have to pay for it, right? So absolutely love how you went and found that gap in the market. And the speed of growth just tells me it's really good, because I know those people, especially, they're going to know each other. They're going to have conversations, say, hey, look at this software, right? And that's how you probably grew so quickly, because it's just good. It's stripped of all unnecessary noise.
Yeah, it was like we had some eras, a few periods of growth, and then we hit some wall at some point, because we are a bootstrap. So we had like a few good years that we grew organically, and then Israel is so small, so we just took another market, which is Argentina, and it's another story, and then we grew very fast over there, and then we hit a wall because we didn't spend on marketing almost nothing.
Wow.
And our approach was, we are a bootstrap. We refuse to take any funding. So there is a limit on how much you can grow. But I think in that sense, in the potential that we had as a bootstrap, relatively, let's say, that we grew a lot and fast. And up until the point that we decided that, the next step would be to get funding or something. So this is why, like 20 years later, if we had funding, I think we could have like 30,000 clients and not 1,400. So it's all relative. Let's say it's a relative game, but relatively to our own investment, we did a good job, because we are at 7 figures in dollars in ARR, and we are like making a living out of this company. We have more than 25 employees that we provide. So we are very happy with what we do. Yeah, but it's not just a linear, like from 2007 until now, it's not just a linear line of growth. But when we decided that we want to grow, then we did grow, so it was in our hands.
Yeah, it never is a straight line. Trust me. I know. I've been doing it for a while. I've talked to
but it was never like this. Our line was never going down. It was always going up. Well, it was maybe going up in different streams, but it was going up all the time. Yeah. Basically.
Yeah. You go up, you grow, and then you fix what? Okay, now we need to fix this because we can't grow like this, right? But I like this.
You have a plateau maybe, and then you grow up. Grow when you feel like you need to.
But sometimes you need to focus on product development, sometimes on growth and finding new clients. But clearly, you're doing a great job because now you're 70 countries, 1,400 clients. And yes, I agree, it might have been 30,000, but potentially you will be at 7% of shareholding at this stage because you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
how it
you're right.
works. And on top of this,
Delusion is the
yeah.
is
And then you will
the
have
word.
crazy
Yeah,
pressure on your shoulders at 24/7 with,
yeah, yeah.
pushing just sales because that's what those VC
Yeah,
is
if you want
basically
to make
focusing.
like a lifestyle business and you want to
Yeah.
control your own hours and you don't want to, we are working in a company before and we had a boss and we just loved like making a living out of our own company
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
make our own schedule and wake up when we want to and go to the gym and maybe start our day at noon. So this you cannot do everything you want if you have a boss, if you're an employee for hire, or if you have like a lot of pressure from investors. At least this is what we thought and what we think. This is our philosophy, let's say.
Absolutely agree. Agree. Okay, but that you organically grew, in Israel, you took big chunk of the market. How did you go outside? What was the first step saying, okay, Israel is not big enough. Now we've got appetite for a bit bigger pie. How we all started Argentina, all those 70 countries. What digital channel
It's
worked
a
for you to
two-part story.
attract? Go on.
Sorry, yeah, it's a two-part story because there is one part about Argentina specifically, and then another part how we grew to the other like 65 countries. So like in 2013ish, something like that. After some plateau in Israel, because Israel is very small, obviously, we did have some occasional clients outside Israel. It was like one client in this country, one client in that country, and we had a few. It's a long story, but we had a few in Latin America, just a few, and it was very hard to make all the compliance, and the local language, local barriers, bureaucracy, etc. I approached like a client of ours, which was like an IT expert working with a hostel, with a bunch of hostels in Argentina and Brazil, and he was in Brazil back then. He's Argentinian, also Israeli, so we had in common, him being Israeli and talking Hebrew, my language, and we befriended, you know. And I called him up. I said, like, Federico, we are just like working in Israel and we have just only a few clients, like maybe less than 5% of our business is outside Israel. And, you're a few years there in this like branch of hostels and maybe you're tired of it and you're just having fun all the time and you're traveling all the time between the hostels, like, in Latin America. Maybe you want to stop the party and just go to settle down somewhere and we can open a branch in Latin America. Very convincing, right? He didn't took the bait. He told me,
Oh.
no, I'm in the Copacabana beach right now, and I have one girl here, I have one girl in the other hand here, and
Yeah.
I'm drinking pina colada right now. I'm at the beach right now.
Yeah.
Why should I work with you? So bye bye. And then three weeks later, he calls me up and he says, like, I think it's time to settle down. I think your idea is good. I had to think about it, and I'm going back to my hometown in Cordoba, Argentina, and going to settle down over there. I'm a bachelor for some time. Maybe I can find a girl already, and maybe yeah, let's open up an office for MiniHotel. So this started like really bad. We opened up like a little office over there. He had one employee over there, and we started like selling bit by bit, like one hotel and another hotel, and compliance issues and solving the compliance issues. But after a few years, it's like there was a tipping point. Then it boomed, because things happened in the market. People needed software. People were educated about needing a software, and our solutions grew, and the compliance in Argentina specifically grew. And yada yada. Today we have like 350 clients in Argentina. So we have more clients in Argentina. I think almost 400. I think it's more clients in Argentina than in any other country, more than Israel.
Oh.
We have more clients in Argentina than in Israel.
Hmm.
So Argentina is like the country with the biggest chunk because we had really good solutions over there. We hired more and more people over there. And right now we have like more than 15 employees in Argentina, in this office in Argentina. And it was really a good decision because as Israelis, bootstrapped, without funding for us and for us Argentina, it was a win-win, because we could hire more people more efficiently, more cost effective. Very good people, also the developers that we have over there. And there is one language in Latin America, so we have sellers and marketing and everything over there for Latin America. And when they talk to another country in Latin America, they speak the same language. So we have dozens of clients in Mexico. We have in the Dominican Republic. We have a lot of clients in Peru, in all of Latin America. Basically, we have clients all over Latin America. And this was really a bit of luck and a good decision to expand into Argentina, because it's a hub for us for all Latin America.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. And it proves it's not just good software for Israeli market. You went to a completely different market.
Indeed.
And you found exactly the same result, if not better at, maybe profitability even levels, right? Super cool. I wanted to touch, because obviously you have that implemented, this software, especially for those smaller hotels, maybe someone having a few Airbnbs and doing on smaller scale. What these guys were using before, is it like the sake of Google Calendar and a spreadsheet? Is that how they operate before they start working with you? What is the usual solution for those hotels?
Until this day, it depends on the market, but if you go to Latin America specifically, for example, you have a lot of clients that approach us. The average size working in a MiniHotel today is 24 rooms. Those clients, it can be 10 rooms or 20 rooms or 30 rooms. You can be surprised, but they're working with a spreadsheet sometimes. Local, let's say, software, not even on cloud, right. Very legacy, let's say, very cranky, not working. Solutions that are really, really not good. And some bigger hotels, like 50 or 60 rooms, that we have a lot of those also, were working before us, they were working with tools that are, like I said before, in Israel, back then, they are more suitable for the 4 and 5 stars, and they are hard to use. They are expensive. You need a lot of, the workflows are very long, and you need a lot of clicks to do things that with MiniHotel you do with a few clicks. You can do like 5 times more clicks to do an operation, in action. And also we adapted ourselves, as I said, from bottom to top, to the receptionists in a way that they love MiniHotel and they talk about MiniHotel, and maybe they are going to another hotel and working over there, and they are telling their boss, I want MiniHotel. So I think it's a very good boost to this approach specifically. And I think that we can see more and more these days, unlike 10 years ago, we can see more competition. We can see more cloud software over there. Not all the software are good, but we can see more competition and more solutions, and more clients coming to work with MiniHotel and migrating from other software. And we did adapt ourselves with migration tools that they can move, like database from any format to inside MiniHotel, etc. And another thing is the compliance, because you cannot work, under the table. You need to work sometimes with the authorities, especially in countries like in Latin America, and also the Balkans, for example, and now all of Europe, basically.
Yeah.
You have the e-invoicing, and fiscalization, and you have the check-in with the police or immigration office, etc. So we bit by bit adapted. Sometimes it was like one by one, like per country, and sometimes we took it one chunk with a company that is compliant in a few and served as a mediator. But we have a few dozens of countries where we have local adaptation and compliance. So when you make a check-in, it can go to the immigration office or the police, like the authorities want to. And if you make an invoice, then it's fiscalized into the authorities as well. These things are a blocker if you don't have them. In most of the deals today, I think, at least 50% of the deals, you are being asked about it, at least, if you have it. And in most cases, you also need to implement. So we did this. We had to do it, and we did it in order to stay in the game. And also it made us we did it very efficiently. So we have clients that work with us because of these solutions as well. So This is another point in our strategy how to expand and why we have clients in 70 countries is because we have all these tools of compliance and tax and modular tax, and so you have countries where you have tax for alcohol different than the tax
Yeah.
of vegetable, etc. So we are very technological and we are very adaptable, very flexible. So this is
Yeah,
like a big advantage.
I 100% agree. I absolutely love it because I can just imagine, right? And I've checked in. I was on the other side, maybe as much, not as much as checking in people, but government's adding government tax. My passport. I don't know if they're scanning or they're doing something. Now you need to keep that safe. Obviously, now I know there is I was saying people asking Airbnb if I can confirm the address or where I'm staying, flying. There's a lot of data. They keep adding those things. And then you check in, everyone comes in at the same time because everyone's checking from 3 p.m. So everyone is 7 past 3 p.m., right? And then you've got those little procedures, right? And if you're going to do in the manual way, they're going to take forever, right? So they thinking, right, I just want to host the people, say welcome, right? Check in and go and enjoy your room. So from the business owner, you can see why, right? They saying it's like, hey, can you just sort this out with a couple of clicks rather than us doing all the task manually? I completely get this. Why? And the fact that you went for those smaller companies that maybe are not targeted by those big, right? Because they don't send as much money there. It makes sense why, right? Because there's just so many little things that they constantly need. And I
Yeah, and
think,
also I have to add that
yeah,
we don't have to be number one at each
mm,
of these features. I mean,
yeah,
there is much that we can do. I saw other companies funded with millions of dollars and sometimes
mm,
hundreds of millions of dollars that are using third party. There is no
right,
shame of using third party. And
yeah,
we have basic tools. And if our clients want to use premium tools and do the same thing, but more professionally,
hmm,
to have more features in that specific vertical. For example, if our point of sales or our check-in, auto check-in is basic for them and they need something premium, our marketplace is very big. We have hundreds, maybe already thousands of integration partners. So they can
hmm,
use an integrated partner from the
yeah,
marketplace. And
yeah,
this is like very important because in today's world, you cannot be the vertical SaaS and of everything, even if you're funded. I know the business enough to know that. And you must enlarge your marketplace as a SaaS owner as much as you can. Make an open API because if you work in a closed environment and you think that you're going to solve everything, you're going to
yeah,
find yourself in the street, So
absolutely.
we have a very big marketplace and we have like three or four companies and products adding up into the marketplace every month, so
Yeah,
this is one of the
really cool.
strategy, one of the points in this strategy as well.
Really cool, really cool. And also you open up, all those booking.com or all those marketplaces for companies that was not accessible for them, right? Because they need to be set up with live availability and the way how to connect. So you actually open up more revenue for them and saving some time and headache with compliance and some paperwork, right, and things like this. Absolutely love this. Really, really cool. Fascinating growth as well. So let's talk about a little bit about the next 12 months. What is the next big move, or maybe something in your biz dev that you're going to be doing differently? Have you targeted maybe some market, maybe some specific channel or something that you decided, look, that's what we're going for because there is big possibilities there?
We are like, until now we didn't target for example North America so much. From all these 70 countries we don't have enough clients, just a few in North America. So I think we just made some integrations that can help us out, like Stripe and then Zero for accounting, etc. So we hope that we can have more clients in North America in this year. And also we are developing a new point of sales, because a lot of our clients, they have a small restaurant or lobby bar or cafes, and we saw that sometimes they just want it inside or embedded in some way in the same package. It can be very easy in the win-win,
Hmm.
so we are going to launch, we have one already, but we're going to launch a new point of sales, really top notch, and also a spa
Yeah.
software. And also I think we are changing a little bit approach in how we use marketing, because we have a lot of organic, at least 50% of
Hmm.
our sales, at least, maybe a bit more. And we have like some paid ads, like Google, and in Facebook. So we are doing some marketing like demand gen more,
Hmm.
more of this stuff. We're using a lot of AI for the content, and we also plan to use AI inside MiniHotel, for some stuff. WhatsApp integration that we really want to do, a lot of stuff for cooking.
Yeah.
And we have like a list of like thousands of things that our clients want, and we debate internally what to do next. There is a lot to do, and we are making some, cherry picking what is the best 5 things they need in 2025. Let's start with these, and we're working very hard on it.
Yeah, very often I see SaaS has got little feature requests, and users can vote. And basically every quarter you review how many votes there are, right? So you give them ideas, and it's like, please vote for the next features we want to move with the demand, and that gives you great indication of exactly what you're casting. Got 1,400, so it's not, if you have 7, that's kind of error there, but with 1,400 you're going to know exactly what's needed. Great moves, because very often now hotels want to get better, so there's little spa or massage or restaurant, bike rental, right, something for the kids, because they want to make extra few quid. And WhatsApp, that's how people communicate. Fantastic, right? If I can just message there and it comes up like the email, and I can be much better at communicating with my clients, even when they're in the hotel, right? Beautiful. Okay, and in terms of marketing, so you're doing Facebook ads, right? Loads of organic, Google ads. Do you do any more direct, like some events, or even outreaching directly, saying to your potential prospects something that can engage them?
We're always strong with organic, so we have a lot of word of mouth. It's like very big for us. And also because we are like veterans already, so in Google specifically, we have a lot of organic reach anyway. So this is very big for us. Nice. Most of our paid ads sales come from Google specifically. Some from Facebook also, but mostly it's Google. We are very strong with Google. And as I said, we are starting an approach of like demand gen, using some AI tools as well, and because we have a lot of clients that need to know about, as I told you before, there are some hotels that are still working with spreadsheets or with cranky old legacy software. So they do need to know about what is there, that you can connect to booking.com and Airbnb, and with one click you can close the room for all these channels in one click, and you have one calendar to run everything, etc. So some people are not yet educated about it. Even though we have it for a few years already, and the market of travel tech is getting bigger, some people still need this education. So we're going there. About events, we were always kind of bad in events, because we don't have the budgets that our funded competitors have, that they have, like some of them are funded with hundreds of millions of dollars, and they come to an event and they have this beer, tap, and they hand out beer and cafes to everyone and coffee to everyone. So we are not there. We cannot compete that, we don't have this budget. And even when you go to an event, we can sometimes get like a few clients in the event. We are adding like between 25 and 30 clients a month, and we want to make it bigger this year. If we take the same budget of an event for us and we just put it online, we get much more clients than we get in the event. So for us, events were not very successful, and the numbers don't align for us in events. Sometimes when we go to events, it's mostly in Latin America, like in Mexico or Argentina, sometimes in our country, Israel. But it's mostly for the guys to have fun, and less. It's not that
less business mode
working for us.
And also the smaller guys, they don't go there, because who's serving the client, right? If you got a team of 4 people, no one is going. It's only bigger guys who go, like head of marketing. You go there, show your face. Absolutely get that. Okay, really cool, and some cool strategies for the future. And I absolutely agree with one thing. You need to educate prospects, because majority of people literally have no clue that there is something better. Everyone is stuck of what's working right now, and it's fine. And they would say, well, but this is great. We've been doing like this for 10 years, and it's fine, right? And it's our job now as marketers, as salespeople, to go and say, but there is a better way. Can I just show you why? How? But the big problem is, how do we get them in the first place, right? How do we have that chance to get someone's attention and show the product, right? Without saying, hey, can I just show you a demo of the booking system? It's like, we've got booking system, Yuval, thanks, right?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
so that's good. Really cool. Right. So if someone listening here knows of a hotel or is a owner and would like to find out more, where could they find you?
Well, I have my LinkedIn and also the companies, so you can find me there. And also our website, MiniHotel.io, just really short, MiniHotel.io, and you have all the info over there.
Amazing. We'll leave the links below. Yuval, thank you very much for joining me today and sharing your journey and everything about your product, how you all started, and the plans for the growth. I've learned a lot, and it sounds like an amazing product that everyone should check out if they are in the market or in the industry. Check you out. Because one thing I'm gathering from this conversation, you're really good. You've got really good products because you're just growing. Your clients stay forever with you and recommend it to their colleagues and different businesses. Thank you very much, Yuval, for this conversation. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Pete.